You've probably heard Father Boardsy preaching the good gospel of Japanese mouse carpets and testifying the almighty truth that is artisan pads. Now, I'm not one to argue with the quality of our anointed sacred cloth, but with rising prices now squeezing all of our paychecks tighter, it's getting tougher to justify the price tag of an artisan. But never fear, because I have tainted my peripheral soul and eaten from the forbidden budget tree to tempt you with a more affordable option for every artisan pad. Forgive me, Boardsy, for I have sinned. Let's begin by getting our ground rules and safety words out of the way. First golden rule, the pads we're suggesting today aren't supposed to be a one-for-one replica of either the build quality, the exact surface, or the various base options available from the real deal. Let's say it will still be Superman, but a little less Henry Cavill and a little more 80s Bollywood. Second golden rule, this is a budget list, so we'll be aiming for $15 to $20 options as much as possible. Third and final golden rule, chat be cool, I mean it, be cool chat. This list is merely the opinion of one old, devilishly charming British gentleman. Everyone signed the terms and conditions? Great, then on with the show, starting with our speedy boy, the Shidenkai. I'm going to start this section with a bit of a eulogy and pour out a little liquor for the fallen glass-coated homie, taken far before his time. At time of recording, Artisan are no longer producing the Shidenkai, so if you're lucky enough to have one already, keep it secret, keep it safe, and treasure your precious like a mousepad golem. Unfortunately, as the Shidenkai glass coating will wear down over use, it's only a matter of time before you'll eventually need to send it off to the same mousepad farm that your folks sent your childhood pets to. In the honourable mentions, we have two options, starting with the glorious ice. Now, the durability on this product isn't amazing and will demand that you wipe away grease buildup on the regular to keep it consistent. But if you are happy to spend the time maintaining it, you'll have a smooth, glass-infused surface and can be found for as little as $10 to $15. At that price, it is a steal. Next up is the Vansa Ace. This is a relatively new pad to the market and is an upgrade in almost every way to the glorious ice. The base is softer, the surface is more durable, and it has a larger footprint on your desk for the low DPI kings and queens amongst us. A couple of things that let it down for me, the god-awful art that it comes with, which kind of looks more like an off-brand picture you'd see on the side of a carnival tattoo stall. Secondly, at $30 or so, this doesn't really fit the budget price rule. Although saying that, I'm going to immediately break my own rule because our winner is the $30 Vansa Ice. This is a fiberglass pad with a soft base and textured glass-like surface and is the closest thing in my stack of pads to the Shidenkai X-Soft experience. I found the textured surface slowed it down just a touch and helped with control versus the ice, and the lack of nightmare fuel clown was enough to seal the deal. I've also had nothing but good things about the durability of this pad, and whilst it isn't strictly in our budget price range, because you can't buy a new Shidenkai anymore, I'm going to give it a pass and give it our first place dub. Moving on to the Raiden. I've previously described the Raiden as feeling like you're rubbing your mouse across a stretched out pair of women's stockings. So finding alternatives to that surface is a bit of a challenge outside of peeping your stepsister's top drawer like the deviant you are. I've seen your search history. First honourable mention, and I don't have it here unfortunately, is a bit of an obvious one, but Artisan now offer the Raiden in the classic model. Sure, you'll lose your stitched edging, but you'll save yourself a few bucks, and whilst it's still out of the budget to be crowned on our list, it's the cheapest way to get yourself a legitimate Raiden surface. Next up is something that looks more like the cover of a SoundCloud mumble rap album than a mousepad. It's the Tiger Grandmaster More, or MOR, who knows. Lil Uzi here has the same smooth texture and speed as the Raiden, so we are good there. But the base choice Tiger Esports went with baffles conventional science. Rather than use a typical rubber base for grip, it has a kind of woven leatherette pattern, and that means it's not only firm but moves around on your desk like a slip and slide. Best value Raiden experience in my stack was actually the X-ray pad Trigun. The Trigun is a Cordura surface, which means it will be waterproof, consistent in all humidities, and tougher than a coffin nail. The 305D fabric they've used also doesn't have the coarse denim texture I felt on other Cordura weaves, so it's much closer to the Raiden, and at less than $19 for a 450 by 400, it is a complete bargain. Next is the Hayate Kou. Good news is that I can sum this one up pretty quickly.
Stop it. Get some help.
Moving on, Hayate Otsu is another unique offering from Artisan. It's a pad that offers a jacquard weave that has the control of a cloth pad with the speed of a hybrid surface. Because of this, it's a tough pad to find comparisons for, but there are a couple of options. First off, let's talk about the lethal gaming gear Venus. It features the same jacquard weave as the Otsu, stitched edges and a medium soft rubber base, all for a $30 price tag, and is available from Lethal Gaming Gear. Our other honourable mention is the First War from Padsmith. It features a soft plush base, stitched edges, jacquard weave and a unique decal. The only reason this didn't take the top spot is that it's now sold out, and I have no knowledge or confidence if it will be restocked again by Padsmith. As such, our winner is a bit of a left field pick and is another dub for X-Ray Pad, the Equate Plus. This pad is completely slept on, but has the same Otsu crisp feeling weave, is humidity resistant with low initial friction and decent stopping power. Couple that with decent edge stitching and clean decal options for a price tag below $20 and you have yourselves a clear winner. Moving on to everyone's favourite wrist sandpaper, the Hien. Now, the Hien is the quintessential hybrid pad and has been copied more times than your average Pirate Bay torrent. First up, we're sticking with our Hong Kong budget kings over at X-Ray Pad for the Aqua Control Plus. It's close enough to the Hien that for less than $20, if you're happy with a medium firm experience with some cool colour and design options, there's no reason to spend any more. For the second honourable mention, we are once more checking out our Yankee arch nemesis of Artisan over at Lethal Gaming with their Mercury pad. Currently, it's down to $15 and will give you the hybrid Hien experience with almost no copyright infringement whatsoever. Honestly, I think you could probably make a case for a whole bunch of winners in this category, but I think I've got to give it to the Razor Strider. This hybrid pad came out of nowhere and blew me away with premium stitching, a durable hybrid surface and a box so large that it has its own gravitational pull. Now, Razor typically aren't seen as the budget choice, but for $15 to $20, this bucks that trend and satisfies your hybrid kink without having to pay the Japan tax. Which brings us to the star of the show, the most sought after and desired black square in peripherals, the Artisan Zero. In many ways, the Zero is just your straightforward control surface, but it wasn't until our first honourable mention that any company really went for the kill shot and tried to offer what Artisan were packing. The Lethal Gaming Gear Saturn delivered control without the mud, and that feeling is what the Zero is really praised for. Its clean design, solid stitching and lack of peach fuzz after a few days of use made it a winning combination, recently spawning the much more expensive Saturn Pro. The OG is still sold at $30 however, and honestly, if you're looking for the Zero experience, you could do a lot worse. Our second pad is by the esports poster boys, Vaxi. The Vaxi PA was originally thought to be an alternative for the Zowie GSR SE, but recently Vaxi dropped the PA Black, a non-printed version of this surface which to me feels slower, more controlled and very Zero-like indeed. It is another $30 pick, and for those paying attention, it does lack edge stitching, but I've personally never heard of anyone complain that it started peeling prematurely. And in fact, I'd have given this pad the crown to be honest, but if you spent any time watching my channel, you'll know that there is one little Swedish meatball that came into my life and thawed my cold, dark heart. And as such, my winning pick is none other than the Lonsballari mousepad from IKEA. At just $10, it's the cheapest pad we've seen today, but the performance and quality of this surface is anything but. It's an incredibly smooth control pad with a firm, consistent base that's sold completely flat and available locally in most countries around the world. In fact, I've gushed about this pad so hard that our very own Artisan prophet Boardsy blessed it with an unironic review and shared my positive sentiment towards it. I mean, yeah, it's a little smaller than an Artisan XL and doesn't have edge stitches, but honestly, I can't think of a single good reason that anyone should need to spend any more when the Lonsballari exists, and we should all be very grateful that our Swedish overlords at IKEA saw fit to bestow it upon us. So there you have it, Old Man Get Reviews is working to tackle the cost of living crisis and keep your mouse skates satisfied with a range of artisan-like surfaces for less. If you found this video useful, informative or indeed deranged enough to be entertaining, a like and a sub is the YouTube equivalent of a reach around for this metaphorical power bottom creator. Remember, be good to each other and I'll see you in the next.